Hello and welcome back to another video on Diablo 4. So I've been getting a lot of people asking me, hey, do you know what sigils are good to run, what mods I should be looking for on sigils, and then what sigils should I be farming, and just general sigil questions. So today's video we are going to be covering sigils, and then what sigils, in my opinion, you should avoid, and which ones that are okay to run, and which ones that you should run. So let's just start off with some of the mods. Okay, let's start with the mods. So this one, for example, empowered elites suppressor. So this one can be annoying if you are a melee class or a range class. This could be annoying for any class that struggles being next to the mobs. If you have to get, if you can't get next to a mob like the elites and take a hit or something, you probably want to avoid this. This is not a good mod for you because this forces you to go inside of the circle to do damage to the elites. Okay, so the next one is going to be resource burn. This one is very bad for most builds. Resource burns, monsters attacks from a distance burn 16% of your primary resource. Now I've done this one a few times just to test it, and I know it says from a distance there, but I've been resource burned from melee. So this the distance part's irrelevant. Resource burn, avoid this. Every mob that attacks you steals your resources, and it's really hard to sustain already with, you know, so just avoid this at all costs. Like terrible mod. Don't do this mod. Okay, and then the next one we are going to show is lightning storm. I don't think I have any lightning storms left. Let me see. Well, we can go over drifting shade real quick. Drifting shade chases a player upon reaching them and explodes for heavy damage and creates a nightmare field that dazes victims. So early game, when you're running like your you know, 10s to 30s, you will get this drifting shade mod quite often, and it is pretty obnoxious at those levels. When you're, you know, 50, 60, 70-ish, and you don't have permanent unstoppable, this can be quite annoying, especially on maps like Blind Burrows, where there's the spiders who spawn little spiders who spawn little spiders, and there's just millions of little spiders all over the screen, and each one of those, you know, sends out the shades towards you. So this can be very annoying. You know, you kind of maybe get used to this before using it. Once the shade reaches the player, you can just simply move out of it, but it can stun you and cause you to die. So be cautious when you use drifting shade mod. Okay. Death pulse. This can be bad if you're doing a map like, again, Blind Burrows with a lot of mob density. Every single mob pretty much explodes, and they create little explosions in the ground. So while you're killing all those little tiny spiders, they're making these little explosion puddles, and if you stack them enough, they will kill you. So yeah, death pulse can be pretty bad too. Let me see if I have one to actually show you it. Yeah, so here's death pulse. Killing a monster releases a deadly lightning pulse if there's short delay. So yeah, that one can be bad, so you might want to avoid that. And then here we have the lightning storm. Lightning gathers above the player. Get into protection dome to avoid severe outcomes. So this pretty much is like a little snowflake thing, follows one of the characters around. If you're solo, it follows you around. If you're in a group, it just follows a random around. It's kind of dumb. So anyways, when you're solo, you're supposed to stay with your snowflake as you're progressing in the dungeon, and then you'll hear the snowflake conjure a bubble, and then you're supposed to move to said bubble during that time frame before the lightning strikes and kills you. So yeah, avoid this. This slows down runs. It's just obnoxious. Sometimes the bubble is way behind you because desync lag, etc. I've died in the bubble, so this is terrible. Don't ever do this mod on hardcore. Do not ever do this on hardcore. You will get killed inside the bubble and lose your hardcore progression. This is a dog shit fuck mod. Yeah, avoid this at all costs. Lightning storm, terrible. Okay, and then we went over resource burn. Okay, so those are my primary avoid. There is the, you see monster lifesteal, non-boss monsters gain 15% lifesteal. This can be annoying. at low tiers because you don't do enough damage low tier, and it's kind of annoying when, for example, if you do like where is it, like one of the vampiric maps, Core Dragon Barracks, for example, right? Like where is it? Let me see. There's a northern, yeah, like this one has like vampires and stuff in it, and they have like life leech, right? They're vampiric, they leech life. So that plus the mod, right, for an example, that would be really obnoxious to deal with. So I do enough damage where I don't care about lifesteal anymore, but people who don't do enough damage, lifesteal can be quite annoying. So make sure you're aware of lifesteal. Backstabbers, this could be annoying if you're like a rogue, low level, something like that, but not, it's not too bad, not compared to like Lightning Storm or Death Pulse or any of the other ones, so we're not going to really mention that. And then the other ones, the other affixes, the mods or whatever you want to call them, they're not really, they're not too bad. All the rest of the mods are not too bad. So let me go over real quick just some of the what I would do. So let's see. Lightning Storm, right? Delete. Death Pulse, I'm okay with Death Pulse. What I'm not okay is the map. This is a terrible map. Sunken Ruins, terrible map. This one, Wilds, is good map. The Hold, this is okay, but I don't want to do it. Champion Demise, really good map. Alderwood, really good map. Abandoned Mineworks, delete. Black Asylum, delete. Lost Archives, delete. Lost, delete. Alright, so this one is pretty annoying. This one, the second part of this map is kill all enemies, and they're quite spread out, so delete. So I play the game a lot, and I have several characters that I run nightmare dungeons on and just content and play the game with. So this is now my main. My druid is my new quote-unquote main. I only use my rogue for certain things, and we'll cover that in another video. I'm not going to release that information yet, so that's going to be a different video. But yeah, so Whispering Pines, this one's okay. This one's kind of far from the waypoint though. Wraithwind Wilds, this one's really good. I love this map. I definitely do this one. Alderwood, another very, very good map. Definitely run Alderwood. Champion Demise, can't beat it. Really good map. Blind Burrows, again, this is a really good map. And then some other ones I don't have, such as Mallwood, Forsaken Quarry, Core Dragon Barracks, Demon's Wake, Caleb's Mine, Alder Cave, Mogan Works, and Farrell's Den. So these are all maps that I suggest you run. Like if you have any of those maps I just listed, right? So let me just go over it real quick. Wraithwind Wilds, Blind Burrows, Champion's Demise, Alderwood, Whispering Pines, Mallwood, Forsaken Quarry, Core Dragon Barracks, Demon Wake, Caleb's Mine, Alder Cave, Mogan Works, and Feral Den. So if you have any of those I mentioned, or just any of these in my bag here, which I think I mentioned all of them except Whispering, I would recommend that you run those maps unless they have one of the bad mods on them. So you know, if you get those, good. And the other thing I really suggest you do when you are running your dungeons, I did this last night, so I don't have any more. But for example, is if you have like 4 or 5 blind burrows, you would essentially run the first blind burrows, and then once you've upgraded your glyph at the end, you simply want to press M and then leave the dungeon, like go to the front of the dungeon where you entered the dungeon. And then once you're at the entrance of the dungeon, you can activate your next blind burrows, and then you just chain them. So you literally finish the dungeon, get to the end, upgrade your glyph, go right outside the dungeon, and then pop the next one. So what I normally do is I get an entire row, right, one whole row, and then I'll just spam that dungeon. But that's just me. I min max, and I don't really do that anymore as I'm low on powder and stuff like that. But when I was low level and I was just starting to collect my sigils from normal dungeons and things like that, I would collect certain maps so I could chain them together, and that just allows you to save downtime from having to run back and forth from the town. So it does save quite a bit of time from doing that, so keep that in mind. But yeah, that's going to be pretty much today's video. That's going to cover the sigils that I recommend and the mods that I recommend avoiding. So hopefully you guys found this helpful. Hopefully you guys can level up quickly. I noticed that the dev said the other day a lot of people haven't beat the campaign and or have just beaten the campaign. So that to me makes most people in the game average levels around 50 to 60-ish. So this video is probably perfect for you as you are just getting into the Nightmare Dungeons. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.